Well, it's a busy Schiff day. Can't make this up. Adam Schiff is now being compared to Mamdani in New York, and he's under fire under some new allegations that are coming out to make it even worse with his mortgage fraud. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get directly into the news piece right after this.
So we have this New York Post exclusive. They're reporting that Adam Schiff is paying just 3% on his mortgage, on the mortgage on the homes that are in the center of his fraud probe. So the criticism over socialists, as well as criticism over socialist candidate Mamdani's rent-stabilized apartment. So basically, his rent doesn't go up with the rent around him. Both of these are leading Democrats right now, and both of them are stirring controversy because they look like we have written here, high fees for thee, but not for me. They look like they're trying to impose rules that they're not willing to play by. I think Mamdani is the interesting one because he's in a rent-stabilized apartment, but he makes over $100,000. Now, he says he was making less than $50,000 when he entered into the rent agreement, and he says, I didn't even know it was stabilized, which is kind of funny. I think that you got to thread the needle here a little bit because I liken this, it's not the same thing. Hear what I'm saying correctly. When President Donald Trump, when they were like, show your tax returns, you're cheating the system, you're not paying taxes. As someone who made less than what Mamdani is making now when that happened, my thought was, hey, bro, if you can go get by without having to pay taxes, good on you, because that's what I want to do too. And I think if you try to use this against Mamdani, people are going to say, hey, good on him. That's what I want as well. That's what he's trying to give me as well. So I think there's a chance there that at least in his base, this doesn't move the needle at all.
Is there an ethics investigation up against him right now?
On Mamdani, I don't think so, because I think that these he probably is playing by the rules. But what's really funny about this is you have, Andrew Cuomo, who's been part of the Democratic establishment here in New York for decades, is Democrat royalty here in New York. And he is criticizing him for it. And of course, and Mamdani has done a good job of appealing to young voters about the cost of living. But if you want to know why the cost of living is so sky high in and around New York, it's because of these policies, such as the one that allows Mamdani to live in a rent-controlled apartment. The thing about Adam Schiff that is so hysterical is that, of course, the reason that he got that great mortgage deal on that home in Maryland is because he claimed that home as his primary residence. At the same time, he was, quote unquote, representing his district back in California and claiming his main district back in California. And so, I just hope all the young people out there who are struggling with trying to get a house right now and trying to figure out how you get a piece of the action here. And think about what it is you're going to be paying for your mortgage rate and compare that to Adam Schiff's dishonest 3%.
Well, we've been talking about all the candidates that are running for mayor, and nobody seems satisfied with any of them. And all of a sudden, we're hearing about this Joseph Hernandez. He's a New York City independent mayoral candidate. He immigrated, by the way, from communist Cuba. And we're going to have him coming up at 7:40 a.m. to give his side of the story, why he's decided to jump in, and whether it's a good idea to split these votes up or whether he has a chance or not.
And coming from Cuba, maybe he can give a little class lecture for Mamdani and Mamdani supporters about the real effects of communism.
That's right.
Welcome back. Zohran Mamdani doubling down on his socialist agenda while hitting the campaign trail this week in New York City.
One municipal-owned grocery store in each borough, 5 in total, is part of a vision of a public option for produce, an understanding that for far too many New Yorkers, groceries are out of reach, and the importance in city government of reasonable policy experimentation. There are too many New Yorkers who feel that pain. It is our job to bring that love back to their lives, to bring it back as we freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants, to bring it back as we make the slowest buses in the country fast and free. including the Q4 that we rode recently.
Well, the descendants of socialism are sounding the alarm. It sounds a little bit like deja vu.
Yeah, no, Joseph Hernandez was born in Cuba. He's entering New York City's mayoral race and is looking to upset Mamdani. And he is our guest this morning. So great to have you. Thanks for joining us. We hear Mamdani talking a lot about socialism. He's very proud of talking about socialism. I think it's kind of academic to him, but it's actually not academic to you. You actually know what you're talking about. You grew up under Fidel Castro's Cuba.
Correct. Yeah. We had my first 7 years of my life, I lived under socialism, and I know what it's like. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like, and it's not a good feeling.
What does it feel like? What's it
well,
like?
so
Tell people what it's like.
Socialism, at least, in Cuba, we had communism, which is kind of the extreme form of socialism, but they control everything. So when you go to the grocery store, you literally have a ration book that tells you what you can have food-wise based on how many people live in your home. So I remember as a kid, we would line up long lines for multiple hours just to get basic food and sustenance. And oftentimes there was a lot of power outages. So socialism is not the utopia that people describe.
No, you also had a father.
Really
you also had a father who was a political prisoner.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
There's
So
that too.
And here you are running for mayor of New York City. It's not socialist yet. Obviously, Mamdani espouses those views. But when you look at the problems in this city as it sits today, moving forward, what is the number one issue? Is it housing, taxes, regulation? Is it crime? What is that issue that will turn this city around quickly?
Well, we have a lot of challenges. This city is, unfortunately, because of poor management over the last, I would say, 8 years, this city has really spun out of control. So there's a lot of problems to solve, unfortunately. I think safety, public safety is number one. I know that, some people claim that the crime statistics have decreased, but if you ride the subway, if you've been here as long as I've been here, you really feel it's not safe. New York City is no longer a safe city. So my plan for that is to bring 10,000 new police officers on the force, make sure we do grid patrolling, make sure that we involve the federal prosecutors in our legal system right now. Unfortunately, there's a revolving door of crime. These people get arrested, they get released. It's insanity. We have no law and order in the city. So that's number one. I think the affordability issue is real. I think Zoran has hit a real point on that. I think the city's expensive. If you lived here, you know how expensive it is. But really, the way to solve this is really economics. It's basic supply demand. New York City has the lowest vacancy rate in the nation, or 1.4%. So that means that at any one moment, there's only 32,000 homes available for you to rent. So just imagine if you're a new kid that's getting a new job here at Fox, or coming in to work in the theater and Broadway, you're competing for 32,000 units against everybody else.
Against 8 million people.
Absolutely. Right.
And obviously, Mamdani's not the only person in the race. You also have Andrew Cuomo, who's a longtime establishment Democrat. I feel like the establishment Democrats, are to blame largely in New York City for Mamdani's rise in the first place.
I think that's probably true. And look, there is certainly a dissatisfaction with the current options as it relates to who can govern the city. I think some of those issues are justified. Again, the cost issue is real.
Right.
It becomes harder to live in the city if you can't afford
So
it.
you are an entrepreneur.
I am.
A very successful entrepreneur. You think you can bring your business acumen to this job, but this is a crowded field. Really quick, how do you think you can break through?
Well, look, I'm an operator, and that's what I've done my whole career. I have, I'm an immigrant. I came from nothing. My dad was a dishwasher. My mom cleaned homes. I am the American story, and everything I do, I always strive to do the best. And my business acumen is what I think I want to apply here. I think AI is a big portion of the solution that the city needs. I'm an expert in that area. We just brought a company public focusing on AI. So we know how to do this, and I think the problems are solvable.
It's a long stretch between here and Election Day. I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunity for voters to get to know you.
Thank you.
And you have my respect for putting your name in the hat, because there's nothing easy about it.
And for saying that the first step is 10,000 new cops in the city.
Yes.
That's a great campaign. All right, Joseph Hernandez.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining Fox and Friends, and come on to Noticias next.
Con placer.
Con placer. Gracias.
So look, that other candidate for mayor, interesting. I don't know if he's getting in too late. We'll have to see. I think Schiff is screwed. If he resigns, he's probably still going to get prosecuted. If he stays in, maybe he can cause them some headaches for now. But his career is over. Adam Schiff is done. Like, usually when you get done in Congress or the Senate, you can become a lobbyist to make a lot of money, you know, dealing with your colleagues. But this guy's about to be on Menendez status, and that's the senator from New Jersey that's currently in prison. So I don't see a path forward for Schiff in any way, shape, or form. And that's good for him. I mean, he lied to the American people. He authorized leaks. We'll get into that in another video. I published one this morning, but we have another video on that as they got into it a little further with the DOJ investigation. Needless to say, it is not a good look for Adam Schiff, and I don't see him. I don't even know if he's going to be able to make it through the rest of 2025, never mind going into 2026. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.